Hello, 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 our friends, and welcome to Believe in the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why I did that as a song, but hi, everyone. There's Jesse Holley. I don't even think there's anything in that cup. He just wants to show off his unfiltered with
There is. I got this full water in the cup.
There's nothing in the cup.
But since we're here, let's pour water in this cup.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cavanaugh. Whoa, what is that button? Wrong one. I accidentally hit the TikTok theme music. I forget I have buttons that play audio, and there's only 8 of them, and I only use 2 of them, but I still hit the wrong one sometimes. So, hi, let's try this again. Hi, I'm Jeff. That's Jesse Holley. He played, well, I guess it's this way. It would seem to me, boy, I'd say this is a production nightmare. He played for the Cowboys. He's Jesse. And when they played the 49ers, they were like, oh my God, we'll never win this game. And Tony Romo was like, we only have one hope, you son of a bitches. And like, what's the hope? And he's like, I'm throwing to Jesse.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Yes.
And then we won.
We won.
We're brought to you by our friends at Bet Online. Holiday season's off and rolling. NFL full stride. NBA, NHL hitting mid-season form. Bet Online, #1 destination for all your sports wagering info. Our promo code is BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Up to the minute sports wagering news, odds, trends, predictions. Bet Online, the top spot for everything pro and amateur sports, and not just the big four. They got your MMA, international soccer, whatever you need. It's Bet Online. Bravo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Hi, Jesse.
What's up, bro?
I'm just hanging out of the house, man.
Whataburger for breakfast?
Actually, yes. I ran out of food at the house, and so I got in the car and I went to Whataburger for breakfast. And Whataburger, if you're out there, and if you want your cup to be featured more often on the broadcast, it could be negotiated. But I sure do like your breakfast on a bun. And they have good Dr. Pepper.
I was gonna say you go soda for breakfast, huh?
Yeah, I don't drink coffee. And then what else would they give you? Like orange juice or something? I guess that would be
orange juice. I haven't drunk. I have not drunk. I haven't drunken. I haven't had soda in probably 25 years.
It's probably one of the last real bad dietary habits I got to kick is the soda pop. But boy, it sure is tasty and addictive. They know what they're doing. You know, the dirty little secret about the food industry, and I don't know how much this applies to the soda industry, but all the crap that's really, really bad for us became more addictive because for a while there, it was actually the tobacco companies that owned the food companies. And so they had obviously learned how to addict people to things that aren't good for you. Their tobacco products, they owned most of the food companies for a stretch there. And so, yeah, they made those addictive too. So when you're wondering why you want your Twinkies and Ho-Hos, and you're all like, oh, no, I don't like the way my body looks. The answer is because Philip Morris owned the food companies for a while. Did you know?
I did not know. I've never taken a deep dive down the rabbit hole like that before. I've never been addicted to soda and or nicotine.
Okay, well, congrats on all your successes. Congrats on the comments that we're going to get in this video where it's like, if you want football content, it starts at 4:30. Yeah, Cowboys won, but then last night the Eagles won, which sucked. I'm about tired. I'm about tired of the Eagles. I got to tell you, I'm about tired of the Eagles because they're fine. They're pretty good. They're good. The NFL is happy this year because there's parity. But I'm telling you, the team that's 10-1, it's not the best team in football. It's not. But the Sons of Biscuits, I mean, I don't have a coin, but it's just like they've had like 6 games where it's like, oh, I don't know. Let's see. Can we make a 60-yard field goal? Whew. Sure we can. Can the other team miss 2 field goals? Whew. Sure they can. Can we? It's just every effing game for the Eagles. You flip coins and it lands on the Eagles side up and they're 10-1. They're actually an underdog at home, to San Francisco this week right now, by the way. They're a 2-point underdog, which means that Vegas thinks San Francisco is about 5 points better than Philadelphia on a neutral field. So they're that effing team. They're that effing team that keeps winning games. And because they keep winning games, the race for the division is basically over. You're going to have to win out, and they need to have a disaster. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you that. I just wanted to rant about the Eagles for a minute. That's all.
Yeah, the more the Cowboys and the Cowboys fans ask the Philadelphia Eagles for favors, everyone said a couple of weeks ago, Cowboy Nation was like, hey, we're perfect. We're going to be fine. Did you see what they have to go into? You see what they have to deal with? They got to deal with Buffalo, and they have to deal with who they played last week? Kansas City, and they got the Niners. Oh, man, I'm telling you, they're going to go 0-3, and the Cowboys are going to go 6-0, and woohoo, we're going to win the division. And Philly was like, double bird, bird to Kansas City, bird to Buffalo. And I don't know what's going to happen against the Niners. I know if the Niners don't blow them out, from what history has said for the Philadelphia Eagles this year, that if you leave them around with enough time and enough point differential, if it's a one-score game late in the game, they'll probably come out with a victory as well. So for the Niners, they kind of know they got to go in there and do that. But for the Cowboys, you gotta just stay. You gotta just stay online. You can't afford, because I know we did it before, but like now for the Cowboys, it's all about seeding, right? It's how can we get the best seeding possible that we can avoid probably having to go to San Francisco, and how we can possibly have someone else knock off San Francisco before we get there. And I think we talked about it before. It's trying to get to that 5th seed, right? It's trying to get to that 5th seed for the Cowboys. A blowout win against the would-be Commanders last week, and this week, another kind of conference game against.
Do you know? I'm sorry, just want to interrupt. Do you know who the Cowboys would play if the playoffs started today?
Atlanta.
The Desmond Ritter-led Falcons.
Yeah,
that's my playoff game. I want that game.
Now the question is, how'd you get there? Like, how do you get there, right? Because I think before they did it, they did like a mock, and it was like right now, if the Cowboys were into the heads level, they would be a 6th seed, and a 6th seed means they would have to play the Niners on the road, if I believe. So for the Cowboys, you got to find a way to get the 5th seed.
Oh, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, who else is going to take that from you? It would have to be the Seahawks.
No,
Cowboys are going to be the 5 seed. That's well, I mean, they do have a tough schedule coming up, but no, I think the Cowboys are going to win 11 or 12 games. You win 11 or 12 games, they're going to be the 5 seed. This thing's going to go just the way we need it to. It's going to be great. Detroit's going to knock off San Francisco for you. All you're going to have to do is beat Atlanta or New Orleans or whatever, go to Philly, smack them around a little bit. And in the second round, Detroit is going to send home San Francisco. I don't know. I'm desperate. I'm just hoping for the best. And then you get to play Jared Goff in the NFC title game. We're dancing. It's all good.
I'm with you. I want the path of least resistance, but right now, I mean, that looks like the path. Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, we talked about Philadelphia and their stretch of tough football games. The Cowboys have kind of ended that ability to look at games as easy games now, because while I think they'll beat Seattle, I think Seattle will be a much more respectable game. That's where the parity will come into play. And then you have who's that? You have Philadelphia, then you have Buffalo, Miami, and then the Lions. I mean, all those games are significant. And I kind of wanted Philadelphia to win last night, only because I wanted to be able to say when Philadelphia came to town that they were kind of like, on a winning streak and had knocked off 3 really good teams, so that when the Cowboys beat them, at home, then no one can say that they're better than the Cowboys or whatever it have be, because you can say, hey, they just knocked off Kansas City, Buffalo, the Niners, and the Cowboys knocked them off. So there has to be a level of respect that people give to the Cowboys. So a part of me kind of wanted Philadelphia to win last night, only so that they can come to the Cowboys in 2 weeks and be dealt with.
Well, the NFC East, the NFC
East. Yeah, sure. E works. East or E. All same.
East. It's over. I wouldn't think about it. I wouldn't worry about it. For the Cowboys, win as many games as you can. I'm sure they'll win most of their games for the rest of the way, but you got some toughies. I wouldn't worry about it. The Eagles, maybe they'll maybe lose to San Francisco. They'll maybe lose to Dallas, but that's going to be it. And if that happens, then you have to be perfect, and then we got to look up tiebreakers. So just don't worry about the East. Don't worry about the East. We'll just worry about smoking the NFC South's champion, and we'll go from there. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, since the East is over, what about the Defensive Player of the Year award? Is that come down to? All right, let me ask you: has that come down to a 2-pony race, and are both of those ponies on the Dallas Cowboys? And if so,
No.
which of the Dallas Cowboys would you say would win the Defensive Player of the Year if you had to vote today?
I need to check something real quick. I want to know, has Myles Garrett ever won Defensive Player of the Year?
No.
Okay. I think he is probably the most deserving, but
Garrett got hurt the other day.
I know he also just hurt his shoulder. So
Yeah,
he's probably not going to be in it because he's got to not play, right? Like I was watching him take snaps and not even go touch offensive linemen because he was like, my shoulder, something's terribly wrong. Yeah, I think 2 Cowboys got a shot at it, and I think I would give it to DaRon Bland, and I think Micah Parsons would be pissed. But I think he'd be quiet about it because it was his teammate, but I think he'd be really, really mad. But yeah, if you intercept, and who knows what happens the rest of the way, but if you intercept 8 to 10 passes and break the record for pick sixes and you're scoring touchdowns on defense, I think even if we could all acknowledge like, hey, who is a better football player, DaRon Bland or Micah Parsons? You go, Micah Parsons. And I'm like, okay, but what are we voting for? And I'm voting for the defensive player of the year. He had 5 touchdowns. And that is amazing. That brings so much value to your team. So yeah, I would say DaRon Bland is probably defensive player of the year right now, but would he win it? I think absolutely not.
Wow.
I think national voters won't vote for DaRon Bland because they don't know DaRon Bland.
Meaning they
don't know him like they know Micah Parsons.
Have they pubbed him enough, or he's just a quiet dude, or what is it?
No, just that defensive player of the year is TJ Watt and versus Myles Garrett versus Micah Parsons versus Nick Bosa. And like these names they know, and like they think, okay, these are Hall of Fame dudes. And the second year Cowboys corner, I just don't think has the same pull that is going to fill up their ballots. And a lot of people are going to think Micah Parsons when they think Cowboys defense, so they won't vote for him in that regard. I don't think DaRon Bland's going to win it, but today I would vote for him.
I did the numbers on just a couple of Hall of Famers who to DaRon Bland's his kind of year he's having this year. Deion Sanders in 12 NFL seasons had 9 pick sixes in his career. In 12 NFL seasons, he had 9. Darrelle Revis in his 11 NFL career had 3. Charles Woodson in his 18 NFL career had 11. Ed Reed in his 14 NFL career had 7. DaRon Bland in 11 games has 5. And then I went back and I said, okay, those are Hall of Fame greats. Like that just tells you to me that shows you that the greats, and I believe when Deion Sanders said that there needs to be a different hall at the Hall of Fame for certain players, and that he should be on that hall, I agree with him 100%. Guys like Lawrence Taylor, Deion, and others should be in that hall. So I just wanted to give context that those guys who are on a different wing of the hall have 9 and 3 and 11 and 7, and DaRon Bland has 5 in 11 games. Then I went and I looked and I said, okay, well, his counterpart across the other end of the field won Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Gilmore, in 2019. And I wanted to see what Stephon Gilmore numbers was like in the year that he won Defensive Player of the Year. Stephon Gilmore in that year had 58 tackles. He had 20 passes defenses, PBUs, broke up. He had 6 interceptions, and 2 of those went back for touchdowns. In 11 games, DaRon Bland has almost 40 total tackles, 36 solo. He has 15 passes broke up, and he has 7 interceptions, 5 of those which have been returned for touchdowns. So if we're just kind of going apples for apples and orange for oranges, what Stephon Gilmore did in 2019 to win the Defensive Player of the Year award, and what DaRon Bland is doing now, DaRon Bland is going to rival with a couple games left over, and he might get a few more pick sixes because there's some quarterback. I mean, Josh Allen's going to give you one. Let's just put that out there. Josh Allen's going to give you at least a couple. Oh my
Josh Allen is a threat to tackle you after he throws the pick.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You might not score.
That's
he's a
true.
nice athlete.
But he's going to get some interceptions. Geno might give you a couple of interceptions. Tua might look the wrong way and look back and try to throw a late ball to Tyreek Hill and get another one. So there's an opportunity for him to probably get around 10 interceptions, maybe 5 to 6 to 7 in touchdowns. I just look at the numbers and I go, man, DaRon Bland sure looks like the Defensive Player of the Year for me right now.
Okay, one last Cowboy topic we got to do before we go, which is Shaq. Mr. Shaq Leonard has been released by the Colts. They ate a whole bunch of money to tell him to go away. And so now he's got a big name. So we have to talk about, is he going to be a Dallas Cowboy? And I tell you what, this is one of the random ones that comes along where I go, you know what? I'm at least interested because I don't think the Cowboys have any depth at linebacker. But I'll also be the bad guy who gets out in front of it and is like, look, here's the thing, though. Sometimes you have to get used to the fact that a guy whose name you know, who makes a whole bunch of money, is about done. And when you got nerve stuff going on and your leg doesn't work right and somebody's willing to eat $20-something million to tell you to go away that you've been really important to, they don't like doing that kind of stuff. Those aren't good things. I would, if I'm the Cowboys, I would sign him in a heartbeat. And then I would just put him out at practice and see what happens, and he wouldn't make much money. But that's okay because he's already got his money from the Colts.
Yeah, the thing is, the Cowboys are supposed to be bringing him in on Tuesday, per reports. But there's also been some reports out today, and I think I heard it from Josina Anderson. She talked about the Philadelphia Eagles are intensifying their interest in Shaq Leonard because of an injury to one of their linebackers last night in their football game. So, I mean, if we look out how Howie and company have been doing things in Philadelphia, they've been kind of running circles around the rest of the league and how things should be done as far as signings and front office work. So this could be interesting. This can be interesting because you look at Shaq Leonard, there's probably a need in both of those places for his services. The money is already taken care of because the Colts are going to take up a lot of that this year. Now it becomes an interest. It becomes who can sway him to go. Now, Stephon Gilmore, Malik Hooker are former teammates of his with the Colts, so maybe we have an inside pool there. But there may be some other guys that I haven't done the deep dive. I don't know if there's coaches somewhere that was there with him and the Colts that are now with the Cowboys and now with the Philadelphia. But there are a lot of different things that can be pulled in this. And he can look at it and go, well, maybe I feel like the defensive line in front of me in Philadelphia may be better than the defensive line in front of me in Dallas. And I don't know. I mean, there is – my hopes aren't very high. I got a little PTSSJD, a little post-traumatic Stephen Jerry signing syndrome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
We get all gun-ho about, players that we want or should have, and we're like, oh man, come on, Jerry, Stephen, go and sign them. Next thing you know, they'll get on their Tuesday or Wednesday radio interviews and they'll go, hey, we tried and we did our best and we monitored the situation and we offered and we like our guys and we're gonna go what we go with. We believe our guys and our guys are our guys. And with our guys, we got 12 of them, 13 of them. You put them out there, you see what can happen with our guys. And next thing you know, we don't get the guys. So
I would just tell any Cowboy fan out there, if they sign him, that's cool because it means that they're trying at a position that they're really thin. And if the Eagles sign him, I wouldn't worry about it too much because just don't worry about it too much.
Until he makes the game-defining play on you.
It ain't going to happen. If he's on the field for the other team, go at him. You're going to be okay. I wonder if he'll just go where he's like, honestly, I don't think he's better than Damone Clark today. And I don't think he's better than Marquise Bell. Is he better than Rashawn Evans? Maybe, which means, all right, let's go get a guy. Let's go get a guy because maybe he can help us. And if somebody gets hurt, we have him. But I think this is a big name does not mean big time player. big name means he was a big time player, and that's why he got paid. And then he couldn't feel his leg for a while, and so things got weird. But hey, we'll see. I like when they sign people. Signing people is fun. And if the Eagles are desperate to sign a guy, you should sign him just so they can't. That's what makes me happy. All right. Jesse, have a great day, bud. It's good to see you. Believe in the Dallas Cowboys. That's this show presented by Bet Online. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.